Hello everyone, this video is being recorded on the early evening of Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the gold stocks, and they are sending very, very bullish signals for the precious metal sector that we could be at the start of the next leg higher. Let's get right into it. So first, I want to talk about the GDX Advance Decline line. This is the Advance Decline line here. Here's GDX, here's gold. And I had noted in recent weeks that we had these higher lows for the Advanced Decline line while GDX was making lower lows. So that was a positive divergence. However, in recent days, as we got this move higher in gold, miners have really strongly outperformed gold. And again, the Advanced Decline line even stronger than the miners. So this has surged. Even at the end of last week, right here, it hit a new 52-week high for the first time since 2020. That's the first time in 4 years. Now, positive divergences, they are important, but they're more significant and they have a lot more weight to them when you're seeing higher highs, but also when you see a new 52-week high. And so that is what we saw here, a new 52-week high in the Advanced Decline line for the first time in 4 years. And the Advanced Decline line, this is a breadth indicator. It measures participation. So when a bull market is at its strongest, participation is going to be very strong. Conversely, when a bull market is weakening or it's headed for a correction or maybe a big decline, you'll start to see the Advanced Decline line weaken before the market itself. And so what we've seen here, while the sector's been consolidating, the Advanced Decline line was making these higher lows than last week, new 52-week high. This is very bullish. Again, first time in 4 years. So this is very bullish. So this is number one. Number two, let's look at the gold stocks against gold. So here we have gold. Here we have GDX divided by gold. And here we have GDXJ divided by gold. So pay attention to the moving averages. We have the 200-day moving average for each. And, very recently, right, not just very recently, but in recent days, I want to point out, look at the 200-day moving average here. It was resistance right here for this ratio. Resistance, ratio moved above, then it comes back down here, but it holds. It held the 200-day. Now the 200-day is sloping up. The slope of the moving average is important, but it's sloping down. That mirrors the downtrend. And so now we are seeing a successful test of the moving average, or we saw a couple weeks ago, and the moving average is turning up. It's going to start to move like this. Same thing here, GDXJ against gold. Big move here. Ratio comes down here, and it basically, it comes within, a couple percent of testing the moving average. But this is a successful test of the 200-day. And here, this actually, this was a breakout today, GDX divided by gold. So this is actually an 11-month high. Not quite a 52-week high, but give it another month or so, and we'll see a 52-week high here. Same thing here. This is actually a positive divergence in this ratio here compared to here. So this, I did tweet that this was at a 52-week high, but actually, I tweeted it was at a new 11-month high. But technically, it's like a hair behind this. And part of the issue why it doesn't look as strong as this one is because this was such a strong move for GDXJ against gold versus this, which was not as strong. But nevertheless, this is very close to breaking out. And this is even closer to making a 52-week high than this. So if we think about it, we have the Advanced Decline line. It was a positive divergence last week. That's being confirmed. Now we are seeing the stocks really start to outperform gold. And this is really significant because gold is still consolidating. Gold has not broken past here yet. It's still consolidating. It's not at a higher high. And so here we see quite a bit of strength, well, especially the last couple days. This week in particular, the miners have performed really well relative to gold this week. And so you don't typically see that when gold is consolidating. So again, these are very powerful signals of what's coming over the coming weeks and months in precious metals. And here's another chart to think about. So here's gold. I point out here, this is where you had the breakout. GDXJ divided by gold. So look at the moving average. It's a clear downtrend, failed right here at the 200-day. This is another failure at the 200-day. Another one here. I should have put more arrows in. I apologize. So downtrend, all these failures, but look what's happening now. It surpassed the 200-day moving average. Kind of tested it here, bumped up, another test here. Now it's come back, not quite a test here, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a technical analyst to see what's going on here. Downtrend, stabilizing, now it's a new uptrend. So GDXJ divided by GDX, the larger juniors against the seniors, this is trending up. I mean, that's what you see in a bull market, folks. I mean, it's that simple. And so what we are seeing, and I can I'll go into this more in another video, or perhaps an editorial in a day or two. But what we are seeing is the miners are telegraphing the move that's coming in the metals. And I'll get to the silver stocks against silver in a moment. But first, I want to talk about what I do in my premium service. You can find this at thedailygold.com/premium. You can also subscribe there. So this is just some quick info on what I do. I put out weekly updates. I have a portfolio. It's things that I'm buying and investing in. And, these weekly updates, there's a lot of information. But, I have a top 10 company table and also a watch list company table. And there's other parts to the update. I answer subscriber questions, some technical analysis in there. But if you're not a subscriber and you own gold stocks, you need to consider, making an investment in a service like mine or another service and gain some expertise so that you're positioned in the right stocks, because it's terrible if we're going into a bull market and you don't own the right stocks. And so you can subscribe to the Daily Gold Premium and look at the last couple updates. And with these tables, I mean, you can read 1 or 2 pages of these tables and get a real understanding, of many companies and what their value proposition is, what's their market cap, what their cash is, and things like that. You don't have to read through 50, 10, 20 page macro reports. I mean, it heavily focuses on stock picking. So just one more thing, I mean, just to give you a little snippet of what I've covered in recent weeks. So, and this was 3 weeks ago, I assessed the long-term potential of our top 12 companies, in a bull market for gold and silver. What could this be worth at $3,000 gold or $4,000 gold in 2 or 3 years? I factor in dilution, cost inflation, all those things. And again, this is all in table form. It's really easy to read. Last week, I added a new company to the watch list. These are just some notes on the company. The CEO sold his last company for over $4 billion. The company's a producer. They're cash flowing, enterprise value below $500 million, a stock that's 50% off its high. This is a production that they're looking for. So these are the types of companies that I'm looking for. And here's another one. We did this, number 889, I should say, update 889. So this is a company that's down 85%, flagship project. Looks like it's going to grow to 3 million ounces. What's the potential NPV of the project? And then what's the enterprise value? So these are the situations that I'm looking to cover. Deep value where there's real potential over the next couple years. So it would be great if you join us. Love to have you. And let's get back to the video and more analysis here. So this is silver stocks against silver. So this is SILJ against silver, SIL against silver. Now these ETFs, I mean, they're not quite as big, or I'd say as strong of indicators as GDX and GDXJ are. But you can see what's going on. They're building out these bottoming patterns against silver. And so if the sector continues to move higher, which I think it's going to, you're probably going to see some powerful breakouts in the silver stocks in the coming months. Look like they're going to outperform silver. And so one more thing here, and this is the inflation adjusted gold price. And this is on the cusp of a 45-year breakout. This is extremely significant. In the last couple of years, I used to think, who cares about the inflation-adjusted gold price? This isn't important. Why are people tracking this? But I did research on it, and I realized, this is the best indicator for gold stocks. I mean, this is a Barron's Gold Mining Index, and you can see that this isn't a perfect correlation, but you can see it's pretty close. I mean, you have this, potential base going back to 1980. You have this peak here. You have these peaks here. So this corresponds to this. This corresponds to this. These are a little bit lower. The gold stocks are a little bit weaker. This is because valuations are not as strong as they were here or here. But the larger point is, what happens to gold stocks when we get that next big move in gold and this inflation-adjusted gold price makes a huge breakout move like that? I mean, you're going to see gold stocks potentially move like that. So I'm not saying this breakout is going to happen this month or next the next couple months, but thinking about 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you get that big move in gold to 3,000 or past 3,000. I mean, you're setting up for the gold stocks and juniors to really fly. So keep that in mind. So I know there's a lot of info in this video, but we could be at an important inflection point where we got the big breakout through 2,100 a couple months ago, and now it looks like the second phase of that move is going to be led by the gold stocks. And I could talk about this more in other videos, but in the past, in the second phase of cyclical bulls, that's what you tend to see. You tend to see the stocks really outperform and lead the metals. And so this is the point where you really want to be invested in the stocks and invested in the best companies that can help you earn those huge returns during a bull market. So again, I know this was a long video. Thank you so much for staying with me all the way. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you guys again in the next video. Thank you.